on this morning. So we're going to open up with a formal bill signing of the inclusivity package, which has been an incredible honor to work with the advocates, some of whom are in this room today to do our bill signing. So trans rights are human rights, and in Philadelphia, everyone should feel welcomed and supported in a place that we call a sanctuary city. In Pennsylvania, the rights of the LGBTQ community are not even protected by state law. But here at home, our city has already taken bold action to recognize and protect the rights of our LGBTQ neighbors through our anti-discrimination law. And today, with our mayor's signature, our inclusivity package of bills will take us even further to expand protections for our trans and gender nonconforming youth, neighbors, friends, and residents. These bills and this work come out of our stories, out of the people in this room, out of young people, 10 years old, who are building a movement for change and justice. Out of our grief, out of our pain, out of our anger, and out of our love for one another, we are building something new. And I want to thank all the local trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming activists and advocates. I want to acknowledge Hazel Edwards, Itzela, and their family, our heroes at William Way, Philly Family Pride, The Attic, and so many others who are making this city truly stronger. And I want to especially thank Christian Love Hall on my staff for your passion, for your fierce and uncompromising love for all people. All of you lead the way. You inspire us to do better. And we thank you and honor you. But first, I want to introduce one of the people who has really led the charge, 10-year-old Itzela, whose testimony at our bill hearing was truly transformative. Itzela?
Good morning. My name's Itzela, and my pronouns are them and theirs. I'm here as an LGBTQ plus youth and as a non-binary tween. I'm here to, in a lot of ways, I feel very lucky. My parents and younger sibling are very supportive, and my school works to be a safe place and to listen to what I ask for. Even though I knew I would have this support, it was still difficult to be open and honest about who I am. And even with support, it can still be hard. While some people can be mean, other people can be hurtful without meaning to be. When people misgender me, it can be painful. Sometimes people tell me how hard it is for them to use they, them pronouns. I don't need to hear that it's hard. I don't expect people to be perfect. I only ask for people to try and to respect me for who I am. I've been to other camps. I've been to other camps like Girls Rock Philly, where the staff had training and support and created an inclusive and affirming environment, and it made a really big difference in my and other kids' experiences. But it's important to my family and other families in Philadelphia to have affordable options for kids to go, and they need to be inclusive and affirming too. My speaking up as a camper over the summer has already made a difference. This fall, when the Wissahickon Environmental Center was planning to advertise new programs, thought about what I taught them and knew they had to use gender-inclusive language. They reached out to my mom to ask for advice. I'm happy to report their flyers now say, children ages 5 to 10, all genders and abilities welcome. This change will make other children feel seen and welcome, even if they are not out to their family or school. This is why I support the new law. Thank you for listening.
I want to thank Itzela for their remarks and for their wonderful activism and proving that our stories can change the world. I also want to thank my colleagues on City Council, Councilmember Blondell Reynolds-Brown, Councilmember Green, who introduced our formal non-gendered phrasing. We've been using it a long time, council members, so I'm really glad that it will apply to everybody. And I especially want to thank our city agencies that have been such a fantastic role in really leading the charge. So first I want to also introduce our mayor, Jim Kennedy, who has truly been a leader in making Philadelphia a more inclusive city for all. Mayor Kennedy.
Thank you very much, and it's nice to see the next generation of leaders will be better than us, so thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Gim. Today we're celebrating a momentous and important step in making sure that Philadelphia is truly inclusive and respects everyone. Our city has a long and honorable history of advocacy and activism for LGBTQ rights, especially the battles fought by transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming individuals. It is our responsibility as a city government to continue to fight for every member of marginalized communities to feel safe, be seen, recognized, affirmed, and have unalienable rights under the law. Philadelphia's Fair Practice Ordinance protects everyone from being discriminated against on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. Today, through these progressive policies, we are further expanding the rights of our LGBTQ community members. Public-facing youth organizations will need to adopt guidelines ensuring non-discriminatory treatment of transgender and gender non-conforming youth. City-controlled buildings will provide more accessible and gender-neutral bathrooms. And we've expanded the definitions of gender identity and sexual orientation in the Fair Practices Ordinance to reflect the most accurate and current understanding of these terms. These bills are a testament to the city's continued commitment to centering the experience and safety of transgender and gender nonconforming people. While we are proud of these achievements, we know there is much more we must build on and accomplish, and we are dedicated to meeting that challenge. It starts here today with this legislative package. I want to thank Councilmember Gim for your continued advocacy for our city's LGBT community, and Councilmember Green for his continuing advocacy for the same rights. And thank you to our tireless trans and non-binary advocates. We wouldn't be here today without all of your efforts and the support of everyone who is fighting alongside us to build a better, stronger, and more inclusive Philadelphia. And before we go step over here to sign the bills, I just want to say that, isolation and marginalization is probably the worst feeling that a person could ever have. We're all social beings that God created in her likeness, and we need to make sure that we treat people with respect and dignity all the time. And to be able to have to go to school or to work or wherever and feel that you're being marginalized or being isolated because of who you are is a terrible, terrible feeling. We should make that feeling less and less. And we have a responsibility to make sure we include everybody, that we embrace everybody, and we respect everybody. And that's what the city's about. That's what the city will always be about. And I want to thank you all for being here. So thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr.
everybody.
Mayor.